I think today is the 4th day. Look how cute. I love my Valentine's Day outfit. Oh my god, so cute. I'm very happy I have my crochet stuff with me. Tell me why this was 50 euros. This is a very strange angle again. I'm gonna do a quick introduction. This is part 2 of crocheting my colorwork cardigan. That's gonna take me forever and ever and ever. And in case you didn't see part 1, you can first watch part 1, but I'm not gonna show you where I left off in case you don't want to see part 1 and this being like a new experience, not knowing what my design is. But if you're interested, you can see like the whole design process and everything, because I did make the graphs myself in part 1, so I will link that in the description. But if you're not interested, you can just watch this vlog and it will be fun as well. As always, this is gonna be a crochet vlog, but I'm also probably gonna show a lot of other random stuff in this vlog. But I also wanted to show you, I actually forgot about this, but one of my colleagues was selling her yarn and I was like, I want to buy a set of your yarn because she had different sets on her Vinted page. Okay, you can't see anything, but I did buy like a purple set. These could be very cheap, I have no idea, but there is a nice variety in the skeins. Purple, a small skein, a similar one but with orange. I really like this one. I don't know if she made this herself because I know she also spins yarn. And I really love this one. It's like a fluffy one. Look at my beautiful setup. So let's get crocheting and we're gonna make the second panel. Very exciting. Let's go. Time to start the second panel today. It is the 2nd of February. When will the second panel be done? I guess ik zo moet filmen. Ever since my colleague at my job said her left eye was twitching, that's been like over a week ago now. Ever since then, my left eye has been twitching and it's very annoying. This is a very nice angle to film. I don't know, maybe I should switch up my... Today at my job I was thinking, well actually in part 1 of this video I didn't explain as much of what I did technically, because for me it's just crocheting rows all of the time, but I'm gonna show you the back of my first panel. I'm not gonna show you the front again if you didn't see part 1. You have definitely been able to see the design of my first panel if you paid attention to the video, because I have been showing my graphs in a few clips before, so it's not a surprise anymore if you were paying close attention to my video. So this is the back. It has loads of ends. Also, I want to explain how I weave in my ends, but I don't know if it's the right way to do so. I kind of just hope for the best. So usually how I weave in my ends is I take a few strands together and I tie a big knot, and then I take the ends from that big knot and I weave in that cluster of ends in my sweater, so that way I can weave in my ends like 5 times faster. But this will still take me at least a few hours in the end. But I also wanted to show you that I kind of work, for example, on the beginning, I just used one skein of blue yarn because there is a lot of blue yarn going on. But then for each individual dragonfly, I made little skeins so that I don't need to carry the strands for the dragonflies, and I can just keep my skeins of yarn for one section individually. For example, for this part, I just carried the yarn. I don't know if anything I'm saying makes sense, but I'm kind of trying to explain to you. You have to use as many tiny skeins as possible if you don't want to carry too much yarn in the back, because that will also make it very bulky. And then the only other thing I did with this panel, it is very rectangular, but I did make a little neck opening. I hope it's gonna be a good neck opening. I've never looked up a tutorial on how to decrease with Tunisian crochet. Maybe you should if you want to make a similar project like this with Tunisian crochet. I just kind of like guess how I have to decrease, and it works out for me. Now I will continue with the second panel I'm still working on. I think today is the 4th day, and I have done 18 rows so far out of the 90. So still a long time to go, and I am a little bit more bored with the process because I already made a panel and now I have to make it again. But I am thinking for the sleeves to switch it up a little bit and maybe add some more bugs or animals, or maybe even some flowers to make it a little bit more exciting compared to the body panels, because now I'm doing the second body panel and it's a little bit boring because I have already done it. But let's keep going with the project. Look how cute the vibe in my studio space is right now. I am gonna work on a standing lamp in an upcoming video that will come here because I want very cozy lighting, although I'm actually not in my studio space in the evening very often, but still, the options are there. Hi guys, I'm actually super exhausted because I had a very long day. I also had like a family gathering party situation, and everyone was laughing with how blue my skin is. I feel like it's not super obvious on camera, but it definitely is in real life. And like my hands are blue. So my family was laughing with that, and I want to give you a quick update. This is how far I am today. I only did about 5 rows today, which is not too good. I probably should do more than 5 rows in one day. And I already noticed I had my first mistake. One stitch should have been the lighter brown. I feel like this is the first mistake I've made in this whole project, or at least a mistake I know of. I'm just gonna ignore it and maybe like stitch over it in the end. But I will probably forget either way and then never look at it again. If you're not new to my channel, you know that Evicht is in 2 bands, and I joined him at his band practice in a basement, which was very fun. And yeah, as always, I'm just crocheting on the go. I just feel so guilty if I go somewhere and I'm not crocheting. I don't know if that's toxic or anything, but yeah, it was very fun. Then when we got home, here you can see Mona being in belly jail. I don't know why she's so desensitized. We can just kind of do everything we want with her and she doesn't care at all. And I also have this clip of her. Every time I put my laptop on my lap, she gets so annoyed, and then she always does this thing with her paw that she's like, yeah, just put the laptop away. I need to sit on your lap. And I think it's so cute that I got it on camera for once. I feel like I can finish the second panel of the sweater in a few days, hopefully. This evening I'm also gonna join Evicht at a show that he's performing at, and I don't know if I'm gonna be able to crochet, but I think I will take it with me. But there's no like backstage or anything, so I don't know. I guess I'll see if I can do anything this evening. But I also was thinking about the sleeves, because obviously that's the next step if my second panel is finished. And throughout this whole process I kind of was like, yeah, I'm just gonna do a whole new design for the sleeves with like more bugs and flowers and stuff. I don't know, I just kind of was like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. But then I suddenly was thinking like maybe it's gonna be a little bit too chaotic. So I asked Evicht and I was like, yeah, what do you think? And he said I should do the same design as the front and back panel, but without the bugs. And I was like, but that's gonna be so empty. And most importantly, it's gonna be so boring for me to crochet, because with not that many color switches going on, okay, it's gonna go a little bit faster, but it would also be super boring. And so I decided to draw it out on my iPad, and I'm gonna show you the few options that I had. At first I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna do the same as a front and back panel, I guess, so that it's all this kind of like one finished thing. But then Evicht was like, no, you need to remove the bugs because otherwise it's gonna be too much. And then I also wanted to include the designs that I had in mind from the start, like just kind of something different for the sleeves. And I did a poll both on Instagram and on TikTok, and Evert, his idea won by a lot of votes. When I drew it out, I also kind of thought his idea was the best one, but I have mentioned this a few times before on this channel. I hate when I make something and it's like not obvious that I made it myself and you could buy it on like Cider or something. I don't know, that's probably like an unusual fear of mine. I guess I'll just go with a more simple design just so that it's not too chaotic. So now I also have an idea for what the sleeves need to become. Today is Valentine's Day, so we're gonna make cheesecake cookie bars that I found on TikTok. I love my Valentine's Day outfit. It's all thrifted and handmade, and I love these shoes that I just thrifted. I hope you enjoyed the little baking segment. I didn't really know what to talk about during the segment because I obviously didn't want to spoil the recipe, but I will link the recipe that I used in the description. And after that, I did crochet a little bit more, obviously. And then we went by car to the venue where Evert is performing, and it was super cozy, but also very cold. But I will update you in just a second on how it went. I've been trying to film this video for 3 times now, since my mic was not working, but today I'm having a pajama day because yesterday was the show and it was very fun, but also maybe a little bit draining. Every time Evert performs, I feel like it can be like a very big and fancy venue, but also sometimes very DIY, and this time it was very cold. I'm very happy I had my crochet stuff with me because I did crochet for maybe over 2 hours, but the seating I was sitting on was kind of painful, and then in the cafe they were playing very bad music. But at least I got some crocheting done and it was very fun to see everyone, and obviously it was a very good show as always. But today I'm a little bit tired, so the only thing I need to do today is start editing my video, because I do think I need 2 days to edit the thrift flip video. Normally I edit everything in 1 day, but I will just already start today, and then I have the rest of the day to just crochet on my second panel, and I really hope I can finish the second panel as soon as possible. And I also want to give a little update about the cookie bars. It was tasty. It was just not really what I was expecting, because I did expect a little bit more of the cheesecake flavor. It felt more like frosting to me. Still very tasty, but not really what I expected. And I did put half of the cookie bars in the freezer because I feel like it's already enough calories for us, because the cookie bars only stay good for like 2 to 3 days, which is normal if it's baked, I guess. It was tasty, and obviously I really like the activity of baking the cookies. Maybe in the future I will do more baking, because I actually feel like it's very fun and rewarding. Well, I'm gonna edit. Evert is gonna do some healthy snacks, meal prepping for me, which is very sweet. You should all comment. Thank you, Evert, for providing me with decent food next to our cookie bars, which probably isn't as decent to eat. It's snowing! Luckily I'm inside today. Oh nee, morgen moet ik met mijn fiets rijden. So he made these raw energy bars, and it actually smells so good, so I guess let's try out one for the second time, another bar this time, one that's a little bit healthier. Ooh, it's very crumbly though. It's tasty, but it's very peanut buttery. I'm here with a little update. Today I went to work and my parents came by and they completely cleaned the house and they also made dinner for us, and I feel so happy about all of that because I have been going through it a little bit. I'm gonna talk about it very quickly, but basically I'm looking for 1 day of work on top of what I'm already doing. So yeah, I do about a half a day of freelance work each week, and then I do 12 hours spread out to 2 days in a week. I work in the hobby shop. My first option was to ask my boss from the hobby shop if I could work there 1 more day, so I asked her, and now I'm waiting. Well, I'm not like actively waiting, but she will let me know if I can work there for 1 extra day. Also, that 1 extra day, I really used it for either my content or to work on my mail club. So if I will work 1 day extra, I will have to reorganize my schedule a lot, and I'll have to see if I can still upload weekly or bi-weekly and kind of see when I can edit videos for you guys, probably on work days when I have already went to my job. But I'm gonna talk about the important thing now. I finished my first 2 panels. You can see them here. Oh my god, I can't believe it. This is like 100 hours of work almost. It took me so long. And now I have started with the sleeve. I first drew out the graph in Stitch Fiddle, and I kind of looked at the 2 panels and used it as a swatch to see how big my sleeves need to be and how many stitches I needed for the sleeve. So I did alter it a little bit compared to the front and back panel, but it is very much based to those 2 panels. And as you can see, I started with one of the sleeves. This is still gonna take me forever. I feel like this is gonna be a 3-part series, but still tomorrow I wanna organize my fabric. I already know my next crochet project that I want to do, and I'm super excited about it, but I still need like about a month of work to put into the sweater until it's finished. So we still need to lock in and focus on the sweater before I start with my next project. Hi guys, what is on today's agenda? I want to kind of clean up my whole, okay, don't mind these spray bottles, okay? I actually filmed another clip before this, but I want to totally organize my fabric stash. I have a lot of different fabrics, especially like random scraps and stuff. So I want to organize that today. Ideally, I would also organize all of my sewing supplies and my yarn, but I guess I'll see what I can do today, because I'm gonna be honest, mentally I'm not really present. I have had a few like very bad announcements this week, and it's already over 2 p.m. because I had so much executive dysfunction, because I have like 0 dopamine left in my body to get started. And I always don't really know how to communicate about this online because I feel like it comes off as unprofessional. But I'm gonna be honest, I don't have executive dysfunction on my work days because I have so much external motivation. I am always on time. I almost never call in sick. I actually only earlier this week was my first time calling in sick after like a year or so. I want to be open about my mental health, but I also don't want it to limit my chances to have like, I don't know, brand deals or something, because when it comes to my work, I feel like I'm so professional. But then once I have a day off, I feel like, and it's all up to me, I have so much executive dysfunction and I just want a day off. But at the same time, I also want to achieve the things that I have planned for myself, because in the end it will feel so much better. But I'm gonna stop rambling now. I don't even know if you guys understand what I'm talking about. So there's a lot to do, and I also just got a message from a friend that I haven't seen in over a year, because she actually didn't live here anymore. And I might just impulsively go visit her, which is very special for me, because usually when I want to meet up with someone, I have to know like at least a week in advance. But now I felt so bad that I'm like, maybe I can come over for like an hour or so. My mom got this from, I think, a friend or a colleague. It's 2 big boxes full of fabrics and lace. Oh my god. I'm not gonna go through all of them, obviously, because this video is already gonna take forever, but I got so much fabric, and I also got these fabrics. I think they are about 50 centimeter to 50 centimeter each. I got these on Vinted. Tell me why this was 50 euros. I was expecting the fabrics to be so much bigger. I mean, this is a lot of fabric and I do want to use this for an upcoming project. It will still take me a while before I can get started with that sewing project, but I do want to do appliques with different fabrics. So this was ideal for that project. I think these items are crocheted actually, and it's like so beautiful. I have a few of these lacy detailed crocheted items in the boxes. This would be so cute for like an upcycle or just sewing project in general. There's a lot of lace and lace trim in it as well, so a lot to organize. I don't even know how to organize my fabrics by color, by how much fabric I have left, what the type of fabric is. I think that's mainly why I was having so much executive dysfunction, because I don't know how to organize these. There was like this whole white skirt. It's polyamide. Is that plastic or is that like, I think that's plastic, right? Oh my god. It's like so, it's very long. I'm gonna wear this. There actually are a lot of treasures included. I also fished out a lot of buttons that I could use for upcoming projects. I don't even want to do this anymore. I once thrifted this dress on Vinted because I was planning to upcycle items for my clothing collection when I still wanted to sell upcycled clothing items, and this was a small, I think. It still fits, so I can still wear it. It's a little bit tight on me, but I feel I can still work with this. I'm gonna show you the before picture and now I'm gonna show you the after. So I did organize a little bit randomly going off of vibes. I also used a few labels with my label maker. So this, oh my god, this is all my stretch stuff, canvas, oh my god. So this is all my stretch fabric, this is all my canvas fabric, all kind of bedding that I can use. This is fabrics that are smaller that I want to use for appliques. I also have a few towels. There I have a lot of lace fabrics and embroidered fabrics and stuff like that, and just some more random stuff. Also, that part of my studio looks so cute when it's dark. You have come to the end of this vlog and I'm gonna show you. I'm working on the sleeve right now and I'm currently thinking, give me about 2 more weeks and this sweater is finally finished. So this is what it's looking like right now. I'm over halfway one of the sleeves and I guess you'll have to watch part 3 to see how the sweater turns out. This is becoming more like a 2-weekly-ish vlog instead of like one big video for one project, just because this is such a big project. So I really hope you're still enjoying this and I want to thank you guys if you are watching this far in the video. I'm so thankful for everyone who's watching and supporting. It means so much to me. Currently Evict is working on some meal prep for next week, which I'm super excited about, although our strawberries are already starting to get moldy because we did wait for about a week since we bought all the ingredients. So that's a little bit sad because I'm really missing strawberries and it's winter here and I already tasted one of the strawberries and it wasn't that good, to be honest. But I'll see you in the next vlog. Have a good day or night. Bye bye.